This is Mental Forge, where weakness burns and warriors are built. What if I told you that the difference between those who merely dream and those who achieve extraordinary success comes down to what happens in the sacred hours before the world wakes up? What if the secret to unlocking your limitless potential, building unshakable confidence, and creating the life you've always envisioned isn't found in some complex system or expensive course, but in a simple practice that costs you nothing but transforms everything? At 4:57 a.m., while most of the world sleeps, a billionaire entrepreneur sits in complete silence in his penthouse overlooking Manhattan. No phone, no notifications, no distractions. Just him, his thoughts, and a practice that has made him more money than most people will see in 10 lifetimes. What is he doing? He's not checking emails. He's not planning his day. He's doing something far more powerful, something that rewires his very identity and programs his subconscious mind for inevitable success. This same practice was performed by Benjamin Franklin before he became one of the most influential figures in American history. It was the secret weapon of Theodore Roosevelt before he became the youngest president in American history. It was the foundation of Andrew Carnegie's Steel Empire, and it's what Maya Angelou credited for her extraordinary literary achievements and resilience through unimaginable hardship. Today, you're going to discover this one transformational practice that top performers have used throughout history to build unshakable belief, kill fear through repetition and vision, rewire their subconscious with power and purpose, and live from faith instead of fear. By the end of this journey together, you won't just understand this practice, you'll have the complete framework to implement it immediately and begin your own transformation before tomorrow's sunrise. The human mind is the most sophisticated creation in the known universe, containing over 86 billion neurons, each capable of forming thousands of connections. Yet most people use this incredible instrument like a broken radio, tuning into frequencies of doubt, limitation, and fear. The one thing that separates top performers from everyone else is that they've learned to take control of this magnificent machine and program it with precision and purpose. What I'm about to share with you isn't just theory. It's based on decades of research in neuroscience, psychology, and the documented practices of history's greatest achievers. When you understand and apply this principle, you'll begin to experience what scientists call neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to reorganize itself and form new neural pathways. You'll literally rewire your mind for success, abundance, and unshakable confidence. The practice I'm referring to is the morning identity visualization, but not the weak, wishful thinking version that most people attempt. I'm talking about a scientifically backed, systematically applied method of mental rehearsal that creates profound psychological and physiological changes in your brain and body. This is the same technique that Olympic athletes use to improve performance, that Navy SEALs use to overcome fear, and that top executives use to navigate high-pressure decisions with clarity and confidence. But before we dive deep into the how, let me tell you why this matters more than anything else you'll do today. Your identity, the story you tell yourself about who you are, determines every decision you make, every risk you take, every opportunity you pursue or avoid. Most people live their entire lives trapped in an identity that was formed by their circumstances, their upbringing, their failures, and their fears. They become prisoners of their past instead of architects of their future. Top performers understand a fundamental truth that changes everything. Identity is not fixed, it's fluid, it's malleable, it's completely within your control. And the most powerful time to reshape your identity is in those precious moments when your conscious mind is quiet and your subconscious is most receptive. In the early morning hours, when the world is still and your mental resistance is at its lowest. Think about this for a moment. Every single day, you have the opportunity to step out of the old version of yourself and step into the person you're becoming. Every morning, you can literally program your mind with the thoughts, beliefs, and identity of the successful person you're destined to become. This isn't metaphysical nonsense. This is practical neuroscience applied to personal transformation. If you're finding value in what we're exploring together, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel and join our community of growth-minded individuals who are committed to unlocking their full potential. We dive deep into the psychology of success, the habits of high achievers, and the practical strategies that create lasting transformation. Your subscription helps us continue creating content that can change lives. including your own. Let me paint a picture of what your life looks like when you master this practice. You wake up each morning with unshakable confidence, knowing exactly who you are and where you're going. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable now appear as opportunities for growth. Fear, doubt, and uncertainty become rare visitors instead of permanent residents in your mind. You make decisions quickly and confidently because you're operating from a clear sense of identity and purpose. You attract opportunities, relationships, and resources that align with your elevated vision of yourself. You become magnetic to success because you've programmed your mind to expect it, seek it, and create it. This transformation begins with understanding the power of the early morning hours. There's something almost mystical about the time between 4 and 6 a.m. The world is quiet, distractions are minimal, and your mind is in what researchers call the alpha brainwave state, a condition of relaxed awareness that's optimal for learning, creativity, and programming new beliefs. During these hours, your conscious mind, the part that's constantly judging, analyzing, and resisting change, is still sleepy and less active. This creates a window of opportunity to communicate directly with your subconscious mind, the part that controls your habits, your emotions, your automatic responses, and ultimately, your results in life. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. This is why you can wake up from a dream with your heart racing, sweating, and emotionally affected by something that never actually happened. Your subconscious experienced it as real. This same principle works in your favor when you use visualization to program success, confidence, and abundance into your identity. Napoleon Bonaparte understood this principle intimately. Before every major battle, he would spend hours in detailed mental rehearsal, visualizing not just the tactics and strategies, but seeing himself commanding with confidence, making brilliant decisions under pressure, and achieving victory. He would imagine the sounds, the smells, the physical sensations of being in command. By the time he entered the actual battle, his mind had already experienced success hundreds of times. His subconscious knew exactly how to respond because it had been programmed for victory. But Napoleon's visualization went beyond just battlefield tactics. He would see himself as the leader he was becoming, feel the weight of responsibility and power, experience the confidence that comes from absolute certainty in one's abilities. He was programming his identity, not just his strategy. This is why he could maintain composure and make brilliant decisions in situations that would paralyze ordinary men. The morning identity visualization follows this same principle. You're not just daydreaming about success. You're systematically programming your subconscious mind with the thoughts, feelings, and identity of the person you're becoming. You're creating neural pathways that support confidence, courage, and decisive action. You're literally rewiring your brain for success. Here's how the practice works. First, you must understand that visualization without emotion is merely wishful thinking. Emotion is the language of the subconscious mind. When you combine vivid mental imagery with powerful positive emotions, you create what neuroscientists call state-dependent learning, where your brain forms strong associations between the imagined scenario and the emotional state. The most effective morning identity visualization follows a specific structure that I call the RISE method: recognition, imagination, sensation, and embodiment. Let me walk you through each component and show you exactly how to implement this life-changing practice. Recognition begins with acknowledging where you are right now without judgment or criticism. This isn't about dwelling on your current limitations or failures. It's about creating a clear starting point for your transformation. You recognize your current identity, your current patterns, and your current results, not to condemn them, but to consciously choose to evolve beyond them. Many people skip this step and jump straight into imagining their ideal future, but this creates internal conflict. Part of your mind is trying to embrace a new identity, while another part is still attached to the old one. Recognition allows you to honor where you've been, while choosing where you're going. During this recognition phase, you might say something like this to yourself: I acknowledge that I've been operating from an identity of limitation and fear. I recognize that I've allowed my past experiences to define my future possibilities. I see clearly that my current thoughts and beliefs have created my current results. I honor this version of myself while choosing to evolve into something greater. Imagination is where the magic begins. This is where you create a vivid, detailed, multi-sensory vision of yourself as the person you're becoming. But this isn't fantasy. This is purposeful mental rehearsal based on a clear understanding of who you need to become to achieve your goals. The key is specificity and consistency. You don't imagine yourself as some vague version of successful. You see yourself with precise detail, operating with specific qualities, taking specific actions, achieving specific results. You see yourself walking into that important meeting with absolute confidence. You feel the handshake, hear the tone of your voice, experience the certainty in your body language. If your goal is financial abundance, you don't just imagine having money. You see yourself making wise investment decisions, negotiating deals with confidence, creating value for others, and managing wealth with wisdom and responsibility. You imagine the conversations you have, the problems you solve, the impact you create. Theodore Roosevelt provides a powerful example of this principle in action. Before he became president, Roosevelt was a sickly child who was told he had a weak constitution and would never amount to much physically or mentally. Instead of accepting this limitation, Roosevelt began a daily practice of visualizing himself as strong, courageous, and capable. Every morning, he would spend time seeing himself as the robust, adventurous leader he wanted to become. He would imagine himself leading men in battle, exploring uncharted territories, and speaking with authority and conviction. He didn't just wish for these things. He systematically programmed his mind to expect them and his body to support them. The results were extraordinary. Roosevelt transformed himself from a frail, timid child into one of the most dynamic and adventurous leaders in American history. He led the Rough Riders in battle, explored the Amazon River, became the youngest president in American history, and won the Nobel Peace Prize. His morning visualization practice literally rewired his identity and his destiny. But Roosevelt's practice went beyond just seeing himself as successful. He would imagine the challenges he might face and see himself responding with courage and wisdom. He would visualize difficult conversations and see himself handling them with strength and integrity. He was programming his mind not just for success, but for the character required to handle success responsibly. Sensation is the third component of effective visualization, and it's where most people fail. They create mental pictures without engaging their full sensory experience. Your subconscious mind responds most powerfully when you involve all your senses in the visualization process. When you imagine yourself achieving your goals, you must feel the physical sensations in your body. If you're visualizing giving a powerful presentation, feel the confidence in your posture, the strength in your voice, the calm alertness in your mind. If you're imagining financial success, feel the security and freedom in your body, the absence of money-related stress, the confidence that comes from knowing you can handle any financial challenge. The sensation component also includes emotional feeling. This is perhaps the most critical aspect of the entire practice. You must feel the emotions you would experience as your successful future self. Feel the pride, the gratitude, the excitement, the peace, the confidence. These emotions create the neural pathways that support your new identity. Maya Angelou understood this principle deeply. Despite experiencing tremendous trauma and hardship in her early life, including abuse and racism that could have defined her as a victim, Angelou used morning visualization to transform her identity from survivor to thriver, from wounded to warrior, from limited to limitless. Every morning, Angelou would spend time visualizing herself as a powerful, influential writer and speaker. She would see herself on stages around the world, inspiring audiences with her words. She would feel the weight and responsibility of her message, the joy of connecting with people through her art, the satisfaction of transforming pain into purpose. But Angelou's visualization went deeper than professional success. She would imagine herself as a woman of dignity, strength, and grace. She would see herself rising above the circumstances that tried to define her, speaking truth to power, and using her voice to uplift others who had been marginalized and forgotten. The results speak for themselves. Angelou became one of the most influential writers and speakers of her generation, writing books that have inspired millions, receiving dozens of honorary degrees, and serving as a mentor and inspiration to countless individuals. Her morning practice of identity visualization helped her transform unimaginable trauma into unstoppable purpose. Embodiment is the final component of the RISE method, and it's what separates true transformation from temporary motivation. Embodiment means you don't just visualize success. You begin to live as your successful future self today. You start making decisions, taking actions, and showing up in the world as the person you're becoming, not the person you've been. This is where the visualization becomes practical and actionable. You ask yourself, how would my future successful self handle this situation? What decision would they make? How would they respond to this challenge? How would they treat this person? How would they invest this time? Embodiment bridges the gap between vision and reality. It's not enough to see yourself as successful in your mind. You must begin acting as that successful person in your daily life. This creates what psychologists call cognitive consistency, where your actions align with your identity, creating a powerful feedback loop that reinforces your new beliefs about yourself. Let me share with you the specific morning routine that will implement the RISE method and begin transforming your identity immediately. This is a practice that you can start tomorrow morning and continue for the rest of your life, constantly refining and evolving it as you grow and achieve new levels of success. Wake up at least 90 minutes before you need to begin your day. This gives you ample time for the practice without feeling rushed or pressured. The specific time isn't as important as the consistency. Whether you wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., the key is doing it every single day without exception. Spend the first 15 minutes in what I call conscious awakening. Don't immediately grab your phone or jump into activity. Instead, lie in bed for a few minutes and consciously choose your state of mind for the day. Take deep, purposeful breaths and set a clear intention for who you will be and how you will show up in the world. During this conscious awakening, practice gratitude for 3 specific things in your life. But don't just list them mechanically. Really feel the appreciation in your body. Feel grateful for your health, your opportunities, your growth, your relationships, your potential. This gratitude practice immediately shifts your brain into a positive, receptive state that's optimal for the visualization that follows. After conscious awakening, move to a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. This could be a spare room, your living room, your home office, or even your car if necessary. The location isn't as important as the commitment to consistency and focus. Sit comfortably with your spine straight and your body relaxed. Close your eyes and take 10 deep breaths, allowing your mind to become calm and focused. With each exhale, release any tension, worry, or distraction from your body and mind. Now begin the recognition phase. Spend about 5 minutes acknowledging your current reality without judgment. Recognize your current identity, your current patterns, your current challenges, and your current results. Say something like this: I recognize where I am right now. I acknowledge the beliefs and patterns that have brought me to this point. I honor my journey while choosing to evolve beyond my current limitations. Move into the imagination phase, which should take about 20 to 25 minutes. This is the heart of the practice. Begin to create a vivid, detailed vision of yourself as the person you're becoming. See yourself operating with confidence, making wise decisions, achieving your goals, and living with purpose and fulfillment. Start with your professional or financial goals. See yourself in your ideal career, making the income you desire, working with people you respect, creating value and impact in the world. Imagine specific scenarios: walking into that important meeting, closing that deal, launching that business, receiving that promotion, making that investment, solving that problem. Then expand to your personal life. See yourself in ideal health, with energy and vitality. Imagine yourself in fulfilling relationships, surrounded by people who support and challenge you to grow. Visualize yourself as a leader in your family, your community, your field. Throughout this imagination phase, make it as real and detailed as possible. See the colors, hear the sounds, smell the scents. If you're imagining success in business, see the office or workspace. Hear the conversations. Feel the excitement of achievement. If you're visualizing health and fitness, feel the strength in your muscles, the energy in your body, the confidence in your movement. During the sensation phase, which overlaps with imagination, focus intensely on feeling the emotions of your successful future self. Feel the confidence, the peace, the excitement, the gratitude, the joy. Feel the absence of fear, doubt, and limitation. Feel the security that comes from knowing you can handle any challenge. Feel the satisfaction that comes from living with purpose and impact. These feelings are not just pleasant add-ons to the visualization. They are the programming language of your subconscious mind. When you feel these emotions consistently during your morning practice, you're literally rewiring your nervous system to expect and create these experiences in your daily life. The final phase, embodiment, happens both during and after your visualization. While you're still in the visualization state, ask yourself, how does this successful version of me think differently? How do they make decisions? How do they treat people? How do they handle stress and challenges? How do they view problems and opportunities? Then, as you prepare to end your visualization and begin your day, make a commitment to embody these qualities immediately. Choose 3 specific ways you will act as your successful future self today. Maybe you'll make that important phone call you've been avoiding. Maybe you'll have that difficult conversation you've been postponing. Maybe you'll invest time in learning a new skill or building a valuable relationship. Andrew Carnegie, who became one of the wealthiest men in history and revolutionized the steel industry, credited his success to a morning practice very similar to what I've just described. Every morning before dawn, Carnegie would spend time visualizing not just his business success, but his identity as a leader, innovator, and creator of value. Carnegie didn't just imagine having wealth. He imagined himself as the kind of person who creates wealth by solving problems and serving others. He visualized himself making decisions that would benefit not just himself, but his employees, his customers, and society as a whole. He saw himself as a steward of resources, not just an accumulator of money. This distinction is crucial because it demonstrates the difference between visualization that creates lasting success and visualization that leads to temporary gains followed by inevitable collapse. Carnegie programmed his mind not just for achievement, but for the character required to sustain and multiply that achievement. The results of Carnegie's morning practice were extraordinary. He built a steel empire that made him one of the richest men in history. But more importantly, he used his wealth to build libraries, schools, and universities that educated millions of people. His morning visualization practice created not just financial success, but legacy and impact that continues to benefit humanity more than a century after his death. One of the most powerful aspects of Carnegie's approach was his focus on what he called definite purpose. During his morning visualization, he wouldn't just imagine vague success. He would see himself achieving specific, clearly defined goals that aligned with his deepest values and highest aspirations. This is a critical principle for your own practice. Your morning visualization must be built around definite purpose, not wishful thinking. You must have clear, specific goals that excite and inspire you. Goals that are worthy of your best efforts and highest potential. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the psychology and practice of peak performance, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to our channel. We're building a community of individuals who are committed to personal excellence and mutual growth. Your subscription not only supports the creation of more content like this, but it connects you with others who share your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Let me address something that stops many people from implementing this practice effectively. They worry that visualization is somehow dishonest, or that they're lying to themselves about their current reality. This concern comes from a fundamental misunderstanding of how the mind works and how successful people think. Visualization is not about denying your current reality. It's about creating your future reality. It's not about pretending you're already successful. It's about programming your mind to expect, recognize, and create success. Every building started as a blueprint in someone's imagination. Every business started as a vision in an entrepreneur's mind. Every achievement began as a possibility in someone's consciousness. When you practice morning identity visualization, you're not being delusional. You're being creative. You're using your imagination for its highest purpose, to design and create a life of meaning, impact, and fulfillment. You're taking responsibility for programming your own mind instead of allowing it to be programmed by circumstances, media, and other people's opinions. The scientific research supports this practice overwhelmingly. Studies in neuroscience have shown that visualization creates the same neural pathways as actual experience. Athletes who spend time visualizing perfect performance show improvement in their actual performance, sometimes equal to athletes who spend the same time in physical practice. Research in psychology has demonstrated that people who regularly visualize their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them than people who simply set goals without visualization. Studies in cognitive science have shown that visualization improves confidence, reduces anxiety, and enhances performance in high-pressure situations. But perhaps most importantly, research in neuroplasticity has proven that your brain continues to form new neural pathways throughout your entire life. You literally have the ability to rewire your mind for success, confidence, and achievement, regardless of your age, background, or current circumstances. This is not just theoretical knowledge. This is practical power that you can begin using immediately to transform your life from the inside out. The question is not whether visualization works. The question is whether you'll commit to implementing it consistently and systematically. Let me share with you the story of Oprah Winfrey, who used morning visualization to transform herself from a background of poverty, abuse, and limitation into one of the most influential media personalities in history. Winfrey has spoken openly about her morning practice of spending time in meditation and visualization, seeing herself not just as successful, but as someone who uses success to uplift and empower others. During her early career, when she was working at a small television station and facing discrimination and doubt from others, Winfrey would spend her mornings visualizing herself, hosting a show that would inspire and educate millions of people. She would see herself interviewing fascinating guests, having meaningful conversations, and creating content that would make a positive difference in the world. But Winfrey's visualization went deeper than professional success. She would imagine herself as a woman of wisdom, compassion, and influence. She would see herself overcoming the trauma of her childhood and using those experiences to help others heal and grow. She would visualize herself as a bridge between different communities, helping people understand and connect with each other. The consistency of this practice, combined with determined action and unwavering commitment to growth, helped Winfrey create exactly the life and career she had visualized. She became not just successful, but influential in ways that extend far beyond entertainment. Her morning visualization practice helped her transform personal pain into universal purpose. What made Winfrey's practice so effective was her focus on identity rather than just outcomes. She didn't just visualize being famous or wealthy. She visualized being the kind of person who deserved and could handle fame and wealth responsibly. She programmed her mind not just for achievement, but for the character required to use achievement for good. This is a crucial distinction that will determine whether your visualization practice creates lasting transformation or temporary excitement. You must visualize not just having what you want, but being the kind of person who naturally attracts and maintains what you want. If you want financial abundance, you must visualize yourself as someone who creates value, makes wise decisions, and uses money as a tool for good. If you want meaningful relationships, you must visualize yourself as someone who is worthy of love, capable of intimacy, and committed to growth. If you want professional success, you must visualize yourself as someone who solves problems, serves others, and continuously develops your skills and capabilities. This identity-based approach to visualization is what separates those who achieve temporary success from those who build lasting legacies. It's the difference between getting lucky and getting skilled. It's the difference between having good things happen to you and becoming someone who consistently creates good things in the world. Now let me give you a specific 30-day challenge that will help you implement this practice and begin experiencing results immediately. For the next 30 days, commit to waking up 90 minutes earlier than usual and following the complete RISE visualization process. This means going to bed earlier to ensure you get adequate sleep, but the sacrifice will be worth the transformation you'll experience. During these 30 days, keep a visualization journal where you record your daily practice and any insights, changes, or results you notice. Write down the specific scenarios you visualized, the emotions you felt, and the actions you took to embody your future self throughout the day. Also, track any changes in your confidence, decision-making, opportunities, or results. You'll be amazed at how quickly you begin to notice shifts in your thinking, feeling, and performance. Many people report significant changes within the first week and dramatic transformations within the first month. The key to success with this challenge is consistency, not perfection. There will be mornings when your visualization feels less vivid or engaging than others. That's normal and expected. The power comes from showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel or what's happening in your life. Some mornings you'll feel inspired and energized, and your visualization will be incredibly powerful and detailed. Other mornings you might feel tired or distracted, and your visualization might feel mechanical or forced. Both experiences are valuable. The key is maintaining the practice regardless of your momentary state or circumstances. This consistency teaches your subconscious mind that this new identity is not optional or conditional. It's who you are, period. When your subconscious believes this at the deepest level, it begins to automatically guide your thoughts, decisions, and actions in alignment with this identity. Let me share with you the remarkable story of Walt Disney, who used morning visualization to create an entertainment empire that continues to bring joy to millions of people worldwide. Disney faced numerous failures and setbacks in his early career, including bankruptcy and harsh criticism from those who said his ideas were too fantastical and unrealistic. Instead of being discouraged by these setbacks, Disney used them as fuel for his morning visualization practice. Every morning, he would spend time imagining not just the success of his current projects, but the creation of an entire world where imagination could come to life. He would visualize theme parks where families could experience magic together, movies that would inspire and entertain generations, and characters that would become beloved by children around the world. Disney's visualization was remarkably detailed and specific. He would imagine the sounds of children laughing on rides, the smell of popcorn and cotton candy, the sight of families creating memories together. He would visualize the technical innovations that would be required to bring his dreams to life, and see himself leading teams of creative and technical professionals who shared his vision. But most importantly, Disney visualized himself as someone who never gave up on dreams, no matter how impossible they seemed to others. He saw himself as a person who could inspire others to believe in possibilities beyond what they thought was practical or realistic. He programmed his mind to expect miraculous results through persistent effort and unwavering faith in his vision. The results of Disney's morning practice transformed not just his own life, but the entire entertainment industry. He created Mickey Mouse, built Disneyland and Disney World, revolutionized animation, and established a company that continues to create magic for millions of people decades after his death. His morning visualization practice literally changed the world by first changing his own mind. As you implement your own morning visualization practice, remember that you're not just trying to achieve goals. You're literally reprogramming your identity and rewiring your brain for success. You're joining the ranks of history's greatest achievers who understood that the mind is the ultimate creative tool, and that whoever controls the mind controls the results. Every morning, you have the opportunity to choose who you will become. You can wake up and automatically slip into the same old patterns of thinking, feeling, and acting that have created your current results. Or you can take conscious control of your mental and emotional state and program yourself for the extraordinary life you're capable of living. The choice is yours, and it's a choice you make not just once, but every single morning for the rest of your life. The question is, will you choose to live by design or by default? Will you program your own mind, or will you allow it to be programmed by circumstances, media, and other people's opinions? Let me give you some additional advanced techniques that will multiply the power of your morning visualization practice. These are methods used by elite athletes, top executives, and world-class performers to achieve extraordinary results in high-pressure situations. First is what I call temporal shifting. During your visualization, don't just imagine your future success as something that will happen someday. See it as something that is happening right now, in this moment. Use present tense language in your mind. Instead of thinking, "I will be successful," think, "I am successful." Instead of "I will be confident," think, "I am confident." This subtle shift in mental language creates a powerful psychological effect. Your subconscious mind responds much more strongly to present tense programming than future tense programming. When you visualize your success as currently happening, you create a sense of immediate identity rather than distant possibility. Second is environmental anchoring. During your visualization, create specific environmental details that you can later use to trigger the confident, successful state in real-world situations. Maybe you imagine yourself wearing a particular piece of clothing, or sitting in a specific type of chair, or holding a particular object. Then, when you encounter similar environmental cues in your daily life, they will automatically trigger the confident, successful feelings you've been programming during your morning practice. This creates a bridge between your visualization and your reality that makes the transition seamless and natural. Third is obstacle inoculation. Don't just visualize everything going perfectly. Include realistic challenges and see yourself handling them with wisdom, calm, and effectiveness. This programs your mind not just for success, but for resilience. It prepares you mentally and emotionally for the inevitable obstacles and setbacks that are part of any worthwhile achievement. When you visualize yourself successfully handling difficulties, you build what psychologists call self-efficacy, the belief that you can effectively deal with whatever life presents to you. This is one of the strongest predictors of success in any field or endeavor. The story of Nelson Mandela provides a powerful example of visualization under the most challenging circumstances imaginable. During his 27 years in prison, Mandela used daily visualization not just to maintain hope, but to prepare himself for the leadership role he would play when he was eventually released. Every day, Mandela would spend time visualizing himself as the leader of a free South Africa. He would imagine himself negotiating with those who had imprisoned him, making the difficult decisions required to transition from apartheid to democracy, and uniting a divided nation through wisdom and reconciliation. Despite being confined to a small cell on Robben Island, Mandela used his mind to prepare for possibilities that seemed impossible to everyone around him. He visualized himself not as a victim of injustice, but as a leader who would use his suffering to create a better future for millions of people. When Mandela was finally released from prison, he was not bitter, broken, or unprepared for leadership. Instead, he was ready to step immediately into the role he had been visualizing and preparing for during decades of imprisonment. His daily visualization practice had kept his spirit strong, his vision clear, and his purpose unshakable. Mandela's example demonstrates one of the most powerful aspects of visualization. It works regardless of your external circumstances. Whether you're in a prison cell or a penthouse, whether you're facing failure or celebrating success, you always have the power to use your mind to create your future. This is perhaps the most liberating truth you can ever understand. No matter what has happened to you in the past, no matter what challenges you're facing right now, no matter what limitations others have placed on you or you have placed on yourself, you have the power to reimagine and recreate your identity starting right now. Your morning visualization practice is your daily declaration of independence from your past and your circumstances. It's your opportunity to step out of the story that life has written for you and begin writing your own story based on your highest aspirations and deepest purpose. Let me share with you some specific visualization scripts that you can use to get started with your practice. These are templates that you can customize based on your own goals, values, and aspirations. Remember, the key is to make them vivid, emotional, and specific to your unique situation. For financial abundance, you might visualize something like this. I see myself walking into my dream office, feeling completely confident and at peace with my financial situation. I feel the security that comes from having multiple income streams and wise investments. I see myself making decisions not from fear or scarcity, but from abundance and wisdom. I imagine the satisfaction of being able to support my family generously, contribute to causes I care about, and invest in my own continued growth and education. I feel grateful for the value I create in the world and the positive impact my financial success allows me to have on others. For career success, you might imagine, I see myself in my ideal professional role, using my unique talents and skills to solve important problems and create meaningful value. I feel the excitement of being challenged and growing every day. I imagine the respect and trust of my colleagues, the satisfaction of my clients, and the pride of my family in my professional achievements. I see myself leading with integrity, making decisions with wisdom, and building a reputation based on excellence and service. I feel the fulfillment that comes from knowing my work matters and makes a positive difference in the world. For health and vitality, you might visualize, I see myself in perfect health, with abundant energy and vitality. I feel strong, flexible, and alive in my body. I imagine myself making choices that support my health and well-being, not from discipline or deprivation, but from love and respect for myself. I see myself active and engaged in activities I enjoy, free from pain or limitation. I feel grateful for my body's incredible ability to heal, grow, and adapt. I imagine myself aging gracefully, maintaining my health and energy for decades to come. For relationships, you might imagine, I see myself surrounded by people who love, support, and challenge me to grow. I feel the deep satisfaction of meaningful connections based on mutual respect, trust, and genuine care. I imagine myself being the kind of person others want to be around, someone who listens with empathy, speaks with honesty, and acts with integrity. I see myself contributing to the happiness and growth of those I care about. I feel grateful for the love in my life and confident in my ability to create and maintain healthy, fulfilling relationships. These are just starting points. The most powerful visualizations are those that come from your own heart and reflect your own unique dreams and aspirations. Spend time thinking about what success means to you personally, what kind of person you want to become, and what kind of impact you want to have on the world. If this content is resonating with you and helping you see new possibilities for your life, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel and share this message with others who might benefit from it. We're creating a community of individuals who are committed to personal excellence and mutual support in the journey of becoming our best selves. Now let me address some of the common obstacles and resistance you might encounter as you begin implementing this practice. Understanding these challenges and having strategies to overcome them is crucial for long-term success with morning visualization. The first obstacle is skepticism. Your logical mind might resist the idea that simply visualizing success can create real results. This skepticism often comes from a materialistic worldview that sees the mind and imagination as somehow separate from or less important than physical action. The truth is that every physical achievement begins as a mental creation. The device you're listening to this on was first imagined by someone. The building you're in was first visualized by an architect. The business that employs you was first conceived in an entrepreneur's mind. Nothing exists in the physical world that wasn't first created in someone's imagination. Your skeptical mind serves an important purpose in protecting you from harmful or unrealistic ideas, but it can also limit you if you allow it to dismiss powerful tools for growth and achievement. The key is to approach visualization with what researchers call intelligent skepticism, testing it through consistent practice while remaining open to the results. Give yourself permission to experiment with morning visualization for 30 days without needing to understand exactly how or why it works. Judge the practice by its fruits, not by whether it fits your current understanding of how the world works. Many of the most powerful forces in the universe, from gravity to electricity to love, work in ways that we don't fully understand but can definitely utilize for tremendous benefit. The second obstacle is inconsistency. Many people start a visualization practice with great enthusiasm, but gradually reduce the frequency or quality of their practice until they abandon it altogether. This usually happens because they expect immediate, dramatic results and become discouraged when the changes are subtle or gradual. Transformation is rarely dramatic or instant. It's usually a process of gradual, almost imperceptible changes that compound over time to create remarkable results. Think of it like physical fitness. You don't expect to transform your body with one workout, but you understand that consistent daily exercise will create powerful changes over time. The same principle applies to mental and emotional fitness. Your morning visualization practice is exercise for your mind and spirit. Each session makes you slightly stronger, more confident, and more aligned with your highest potential. The key is to value the process as much as the results, finding satisfaction in the daily practice itself rather than only in the long-term outcomes. To maintain consistency, create what researchers call implementation intentions. Instead of vaguely intending to visualize more regularly, create specific if-then plans. For example, if it's 6 a.m., then I will begin my visualization practice. If I feel resistant or tired, then I will remind myself that this practice is creating my future success. If I miss a morning, then I will recommit immediately without self-judgment or giving up entirely. Implementation intentions work because they reduce the mental energy required to make decisions. Instead of debating whether or not to practice each morning, you simply follow your predetermined plan. This conserves your willpower for more important decisions throughout the day. The third obstacle is emotional resistance. Sometimes during visualization, you might experience uncomfortable emotions like fear, sadness, anger, or shame. These emotions often arise when you imagine yourself achieving goals that feel far beyond your current reality, or when you confront the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Don't interpret these emotions as signs that visualization isn't working or that your goals are unrealistic. Instead, see them as evidence that you're touching something important and meaningful. Comfortable goals don't require transformation. If your visualized future doesn't challenge your current identity and beliefs, it's probably not ambitious enough to create significant change in your life. When uncomfortable emotions arise during visualization, acknowledge them without judgment, and then gently return your focus to the positive emotions and sensations of your successful future self. Remember that you're not trying to deny or eliminate negative emotions. You're choosing to spend more mental and emotional energy on the states that support your growth and success. Over time, as you consistently practice visualizing your successful future self, the emotional resistance will diminish and eventually disappear. What once felt impossible or unrealistic will begin to feel natural and inevitable. This shift in emotional response is one of the clearest signs that your visualization practice is rewiring your identity and expectations. The fourth obstacle is external skepticism and criticism from others. When you begin to change and grow, some people in your life might feel threatened or uncomfortable with your transformation. They might criticize your visualization practice as unrealistic, selfish, or silly. They might try to discourage you from pursuing ambitious goals or remind you of past failures and limitations. This resistance from others is often a reflection of their own fears and limitations rather than an accurate assessment of your potential. People who have settled for less than their best life often feel uncomfortable around those who refuse to settle. Your commitment to growth and excellence can make others feel guilty about their own lack of progress. Don't allow other people's opinions to derail your visualization practice or diminish your goals. Remember that throughout history, every great achievement was initially dismissed by skeptics and critics. The Wright brothers were told that human flight was impossible. Henry Ford was told that people would never give up their horses for automobiles. Steve Jobs was told that people didn't want to carry computers in their pockets. Surround yourself with people who support your growth and believe in your potential. Seek out mentors, coaches, and friends who are also committed to personal excellence and ambitious goals. Join communities, online or offline, where your commitment to visualization and self-improvement is celebrated rather than criticized. Your visualization practice is not about impressing others or proving anything to skeptics. It's about creating the life you genuinely want to live and becoming the person you're capable of becoming. Stay focused on your own growth and results, rather than seeking validation or approval from others. Let me share with you the inspiring story of Helen Keller, who used the power of mental visualization to overcome obstacles that would have defeated most people. Despite being deaf and blind from early childhood, Keller refused to accept the limitations that others placed on her. She used daily visualization to imagine herself communicating effectively, learning at the highest levels, and making a meaningful contribution to the world. Keller would spend time each day visualizing herself, speaking to audiences, writing books, and inspiring others to overcome their own limitations. She would imagine the satisfaction of learning new concepts, the joy of meaningful communication, and the fulfillment of using her challenges as a source of strength and wisdom. Despite the seeming impossibility of her goals given her physical limitations, Keller's visualization practice helped her achieve extraordinary success. She became the first deaf and blind person to earn a college degree, wrote multiple books, became a renowned speaker, and inspired millions of people around the world. Her daily practice of visualizing success helped her create possibilities that others couldn't even imagine. Keller's example demonstrates that the power of visualization is not limited by external circumstances or physical limitations. The mind's ability to create and attract success operates according to laws that transcend material conditions. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your highest aspirations, you tap into creative forces that can overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Now let me give you a powerful advanced technique called future memory creation. This involves not just visualizing your future success, but creating detailed mental memories of having already achieved your goals. You literally program your mind with memories of experiences that haven't happened yet in physical reality, but feel completely real in your consciousness. During your morning visualization, instead of imagining your success as something that will happen, remember it as something that has already happened. Create detailed memories of the moment you achieved your major goal. Remember how it felt, what you saw, what you heard, what you said, who was there with you, what you were wearing, what the weather was like. The more detailed and specific these future memories become, the more real they feel to your subconscious mind. Your brain begins to expect these experiences because it already has vivid memories of them. This creates a powerful psychological pull toward the realization of your goals, because your mind is trying to make your external reality match your internal memories. Olympic athletes use this technique extensively, creating detailed memories of perfect performances, successful competitions, and medal ceremonies. By the time they compete, they've already experienced victory hundreds of times in their minds, so their bodies know exactly how to perform when the moment arrives. You can apply this same technique to any area of your life. Create detailed future memories of career success, financial abundance, perfect health, loving relationships, or any other goal that's important to you. The key is to make these memories as vivid and emotionally engaging as your actual memories of past experiences. Another advanced technique is called identity stacking. Instead of just visualizing one version of your successful future self, create multiple versions representing different aspects of your ideal identity. You might visualize yourself as a successful business leader, a loving family member, a healthy and fit person, a generous contributor to your community, and a lifelong learner, all within the same visualization session. This technique helps you develop a comprehensive, multi-dimensional identity rather than focusing on just one area of success. It ensures that your visualization practice supports your growth as a complete human being, not just in your career or finances, but in all the areas that contribute to a truly fulfilling life. Identity stacking also prevents the common problem of achieving success in one area while neglecting others. Many people focus so intensely on career success that they sacrifice their health, relationships, or personal growth. By visualizing success in multiple areas simultaneously, you program your mind to create balance and fulfillment across all dimensions of your life. The story of Leonardo da Vinci illustrates the power of multidimensional visualization beautifully. Da Vinci didn't just visualize himself as a great artist. He imagined himself as a master of multiple disciplines: art, science, engineering, anatomy, architecture, and invention. His daily practice of visualizing excellence in diverse fields helped him become one of the most accomplished and influential figures in human history. Da Vinci would spend his mornings visualizing breakthrough discoveries in anatomy, revolutionary inventions that could benefit humanity, artistic creations that would inspire people for centuries, and scientific insights that would advance human knowledge. He didn't limit himself to one narrow definition of success, but instead created an expansive vision of what was possible for a human being committed to excellence and continuous learning. The results of Da Vinci's multidimensional visualization practice speak for themselves. He created artistic masterpieces like the Mona Lisa and The Last Supper, designed flying machines centuries before human flight became possible, made groundbreaking discoveries in anatomy and engineering, and left behind notebooks filled with insights and inventions that continue to inspire scientists and inventors today. Your own visualization practice should reflect the full scope of your potential and aspirations. Don't limit yourself to narrow definitions of success or achievement. Instead, create an expansive vision of the person you're capable of becoming and the impact you're capable of having on the world. As you continue developing your morning visualization practice, remember that you're not just trying to achieve specific goals. You're cultivating the mental and emotional qualities that make sustained success and fulfillment possible. You're developing unshakable confidence, unwavering focus, resilient optimism, and the ability to maintain your vision and motivation regardless of external circumstances. These qualities are more valuable than any specific achievement because they ensure that you can continue growing, creating, and contributing throughout your entire life. They make you anti-fragile, becoming stronger through challenges rather than being weakened by them. Your morning visualization practice is ultimately about becoming the author of your own life story, instead of a character in someone else's story. It's about taking full responsibility for your thoughts, emotions, and results, rather than allowing them to be determined by circumstances, other people, or past experiences. This is perhaps the most empowering realization you can have, that your identity is not fixed by your past, but is constantly being created by your thoughts, beliefs, and daily practices. Every morning, you have the opportunity to choose who you will become. Every visualization session is a vote for the person you're committed to being. The compound effect of consistent morning visualization is extraordinary. What might seem like a small daily practice creates massive changes over time. Day by day, you're literally rewiring your brain, reshaping your identity, and creating new possibilities for your life. Most people dramatically underestimate their potential because they've never systematically programmed their minds for success. They accept limitations that exist only in their thoughts and beliefs. They settle for far less than they're capable of because they've never developed the mental disciplines that make extraordinary achievement possible. Your morning visualization practice liberates you from these unnecessary limitations. It connects you with your true potential and gives you the tools to manifest that potential in your daily life. It transforms you from someone who hopes for success to someone who expects and creates success. Let me give you one final story that illustrates the ultimate power of morning visualization. The story of Stephen King, who used daily visualization to transform himself from a struggling teacher living in a trailer to one of the most successful authors in history. During his years of struggle, when his novels were being rejected by publishers and he was working multiple jobs to support his family, King maintained a daily practice of visualizing his success as a writer. Every morning, he would spend time imagining himself as a best-selling author, seeing his books in bookstores, imagining readers around the world being entertained and moved by his stories. King's visualization went beyond just commercial success. He would imagine himself as a master storyteller, someone who could create compelling characters and gripping narratives that would stand the test of time. He visualized himself having the discipline to write consistently, the creativity to generate endless story ideas, and the skill to craft those ideas into published works. Despite years of rejection and financial struggle, King never abandoned his morning visualization practice. He continued to see himself as a successful author, even when external evidence suggested otherwise. He programmed his mind for success, even when his circumstances seemed to indicate failure. The breakthrough came when his novel Carrie was finally accepted for publication and became a massive success. But King's visualization practice had prepared him not just for this initial success, but for the sustained career that followed. He went on to publish over 60 novels, sell more than 350 million copies worldwide, and become one of the most recognized and influential authors of his generation. King's success wasn't an accident or a stroke of luck. It was the inevitable result of combining consistent daily action with systematic mental programming through visualization. His morning practice created the identity, expectations, and persistence required for extraordinary achievement in a highly competitive field. Your own visualization practice has the same potential to transform your life and career. The key is to approach it with the same consistency, specificity, and emotional engagement that King brought to his practice. Don't just go through the motions. Make it a sacred daily appointment with your future self. As we conclude this journey together, I want to leave you with a clear understanding of what your life can become when you master the practice of morning identity visualization. You'll wake up each day with absolute clarity about who you are and where you're going. You'll make decisions quickly and confidently because you're operating from a strong sense of identity and purpose. Challenges that once seemed overwhelming will become opportunities for growth and proof of your resilience. You'll attract people, opportunities, and resources that align with your elevated vision of yourself. You'll become a magnet for success because you've programmed your mind to expect it, recognize it, and create it. Your relationships will improve because you'll show up as your best self consistently. Your health will improve because you'll make choices that honor and support your body. Your finances will improve because you'll think and act like someone who creates and maintains wealth. Your career will flourish because you'll approach your work with confidence, creativity, and commitment to excellence. But most importantly, you'll experience the deep satisfaction that comes from knowing you're living authentically, pursuing goals that align with your values, and becoming the person you're truly capable of being. You'll stop settling for less than your best life and start creating the extraordinary life you were born to live. The morning identity visualization practice I've shared with you today is not just a technique for achieving goals. It's a pathway to personal transformation, a method for accessing your highest potential, and a tool for creating lasting fulfillment and impact in your life. Remember, every morning you have a choice. You can wake up and automatically slip into the same patterns of thinking and feeling that have created your current results, or you can take conscious control of your mind and program it for the extraordinary life you're capable of living. The choice is yours, and it's a choice you make not just once, but every single day. The question is not whether you have the potential for greatness. You do. The question is whether you'll commit to the daily practice of activating that potential through systematic mental programming. I challenge you to begin tomorrow morning. Set your alarm 90 minutes earlier than usual. Create a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Follow the RISE method we've discussed: recognition, imagination, sensation, and embodiment. Make it vivid, make it emotional, make it specific, and most importantly, make it consistent. If you found value in this deep exploration of peak performance psychology, and you're ready to join a community of growth-minded individuals, please subscribe to our channel. We're committed to providing content that doesn't just inform but transforms, content that gives you the tools and strategies to create the life you truly want to live. Document your journey. Keep a visualization journal. Track your progress. Notice the changes in your confidence, your decision-making, your opportunities, and your results. Share your story with others who might benefit from hearing about your transformation. Remember that you're not just changing your own life through this practice, you're also becoming an example and inspiration for others who are seeking their own path to growth and achievement. Your commitment to excellence gives others permission to pursue their own excellence. The world needs more people who are living from their highest potential, who are bold enough to dream big dreams and disciplined enough to make those dreams reality. The world needs more people who have taken control of their own minds and are using that control to create positive change in their lives and communities. You have the opportunity to become one of those people, starting tomorrow morning. You have the tools, you have the knowledge, and you have the potential. The only question remaining is whether you have the commitment to take action and maintain that action consistently over time. Your extraordinary life is waiting for you. It's been waiting for you to develop the mental disciplines that make it possible. It's been waiting for you to step out of the limitations of your past and step into the possibilities of your future. It's been waiting for you to stop accepting less than your best and start creating the life you truly deserve. The morning identity visualization practice is your key to unlocking this extraordinary life that's been waiting for you. Use it wisely, use it consistently, and use it with complete confidence in your ability to transform yourself and your results. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the psychology of peak performance and the power of systematic mental programming. I believe in your potential for greatness, and I'm excited to be part of your community as you begin creating the life you've always envisioned for yourself. Subscribe to our channel to continue this journey of growth and transformation together. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. Make the decision to begin tomorrow morning. Your extraordinary life begins with that choice. The one thing that top performers do before 6 a.m. is take absolute control of their minds and systematically program themselves for success, significance, and fulfillment. Now you know how to do the same. The question is not what's possible for you. The question is, what will you choose to make possible starting tomorrow morning? Your time is now. Your moment is here. Your extraordinary life is waiting. Take the first step tomorrow at dawn and begin the most important journey of your life. The journey from who you've been to who you're capable of becoming. Champions, your mind has been forged a little stronger today, but the real test isn't what you learned, it's what you do with it. Take action, dominate your day, and remember, we're not just building better thoughts, we're forging unstoppable lives. The forge doesn't stop, and neither do you. If this episode hit you where it counts, subscribe to Mental Forge Academy and join the brotherhood of champions who refuse to settle for ordinary. Go transform, Strike while the mind is hot.